When I was 20 years old, my life changed forever. And I thought, what if I could go back to that time, and what would I tell myself? So I was 20, living with no fear, like no fears at all, like being in the prime, I wouldn't say prime, but being like this young, fearless guy earning money for the first time, like substantial amount of money. On January 29th, 2011, I've talked about this multiple times, and I made a video that kind of went viral. You can check it out here. I lost my fingers on my right hand. I mean, yeah, I think if you have been here before, you know my story, at least to a certain extent. If you don't, then please check out the video where I go into detail how it went down. And I made some videos in the past explaining how I adapted and how I found a way through that trauma. This accident not only forced me to think about my future, but also I got confronted with mortality for the first time, like sitting on that machine, being stuck there for an hour. One of the main thoughts I had, I don't want to die here. I don't want to die like this. And that does something with you. I've talked about it, and I've been open about my trauma and the anxiety that the trauma caused. But I thought I wanted to reflect on my accident. It's been 15 years. I didn't even think about my accident on the day. Up until recently, every year I thought about my accident on the day, but I even like anticipated the day, like, oh, it's coming up. I don't know how I should feel about it, but the last 2 years, I think, or 3 years, I forgot about it, which I think is a good sign. But yeah, it's been 15 years, and I thought about my 20-year-old self lying in that hospital bed right after the accident. And I thought about, what would I tell myself? What would I need to hear in that situation from my future self that would make me feel better, or that would bring up my hope? Okay, yeah. Writing this, I didn't think it would be that emotional, but it kind of is still. I think the most important thing I would tell myself, that everything will be all right. I know it's a cliche, and I know it's something you want to hear from the people you love most, like your mom, your dad, your family, friends. But in a situation like that, where everything feels so hopeless, or you feel like you have no perspective, I think that's something you want to know and you want to hear. Like, even though it might not be fully true, but I feel like it gives comfort. Everything will be all right. Things pass. And I think that's one of the main things. Like, if we choose to move forward and not stay put in a situation like that, we learn, we adapt, we change. Life is a collection of ups and downs, and facing a life-changing event, whatever it may be, is a challenge. And most of the time, the only thing we control is how we react towards that challenge. Do we face it, or do we crawl under the bed or under the blanket and stay put, or even hide? I remember the most miserable days laying in that hospital bed 15 years ago, just waiting and thinking, and like asking myself the question, why me? Like, what does this mean to my life now? What will change? I knew that a lot of things will change. once I get out of the hospital and back into my normal life. But those were not the best days. And I know in a situation like that, I would just like to hear that everything will be all right. And knowing what I know now is that I can trust my gut. I've never planned out my life. I knew what I wanted, or at least what I was interested in. And, making a living by making videos was something I could have not really imagined as a teenager, simply because, growing up in Austria and being surrounded by mostly only like the typical working class people, or, you study something and you work in the industry. I was not really surrounded by creative people a lot. And so I did not know that there was this world beyond, the typical person who goes to, the office 9 to 5, whatever it is. And thankfully, through my peers and through university friends, I was able to dip into that world, and I started to believe in myself and build something lasting from it that I can call a successful business today, and I'm very grateful for that. I feel like the message to myself would be, keep doing what you're doing, keep doing what you love doing, because eventually you not only surround yourself with people who believe in you and who push you, but you can also sell your expertise, your, whatever is what you do, and you can make a living out of that. Keep yourself surrounded by people who push you and who want you to be better. The trauma and the health anxiety part of the whole accident thing are probably the most difficult things for me, especially comparing them. Physical wounds heal, and I adapted to my right hand pretty fast. And yes, I had trouble looking at my right hand and just, accepting it. But the mental load due to anxiety and the trauma disrupted my life completely, especially years after I was done healing my body. Not feeling control of certain aspects, the fear of life-threatening diseases, things changing in my life due to illness or whatever it may be, were all connected to that trauma. And in that sense, I would probably hug myself and would tell myself to trust in the ability to heal myself, to trust in my body, to trust that, again, everything will be fine, and to focus on the things that I actually can control. And go see the therapist, go see the therapist, which I did for the most part anyways. Now, 15 years after, I pretty much came to terms with my accident. I was pretty much said and done with it 10 years after, so 5 years ago. And I accepted that anxiety is part of myself, something that I can't fight. I once in a while try to fight it because I'm, stressed out or don't see the signs early enough, but I accepted it as part of me. And looking back now, the way I navigated through my life, all the shit that I handled in the best possible way, I would say. Yes, I made mistakes and I try to own them and also learn from them. And through all of that, I would probably end up just saying this one thing to myself, is keep moving forward and you will end up exactly where you need to be. I'm extremely fortunate and blessed through some, external factors, like living in a country like Austria, where we have still great healthcare and being able to study for free, and also having so many friends and family members that were, for the most part, very supportive of my journey. I also know that I worked hard, and obviously I was very lucky in certain, configurations. But I also knew that listening to my gut always kind of pushed me towards the right thing. And it might sound stupid or even, a little esoteric or whatever you want to call it, but I really do believe that if you listen to the universe, whatever that may be in your, life it answers. And you can also ask for things like, you can call it positive energy, you can call it manifesting or co-creating, whatever suits you. But I very, very much believe in that concept because I'm proof of that concept. Yeah, I hope you could take something away from that video. I don't know what the next couple of months bring with the baby being born soonish. And again, I always try to be very honest in those videos, and just me. I'm not trying to portray or make up a persona. I'm just me talking out of my ass. And yeah, thanks for watching. If you like what I do, please subscribe, like, and I always appreciate a comment. Thank you. Bye.